Greetings, this is Jim Deadman, Saw Logs Plastic Hubs. Welcome to my shop, as I say, my humble shop. Today's project is something I've probably done. Other people has done them. This isn't nothing new, but let me give it a little background. Lately, I may have done one a while back of helping Michael Hale make some AXA holders, where we roughed them out and machined them, or machined the dovetails in, and sawed them up here so he could finish them on his smitty. And another person, a local friend of mine that lives over here across the way, that I know from the Hobby Machinist Board, he called me up a while back and said, Jim, you helped me out. Said, I just recently converted over from a post lantern to an AX, a quick change block, and I'm making me some tool blocks, and I ain't got a good way to cut them up. So I said, well, bring them on over here, we'll saw them one day. So what he did is he done them like we've shown in the past, that he had them done and we just sawed them up, and he took them home and finished them. Now what I'm going to do today is make me some, because I didn't have but 2 spares, so I like to have more than 2. And before we get started, yes, you can buy these for about $15 a piece on a BXA, 15 to 20 depending on the vendor. But hey, this is my home backyard shop. I got scrap that I picked up next to nothing, and I need to make dang videos for you guys. So that's 3 good reasons to make me some blocks, isn't it? So follow along today as I start the process of machining these. And I'm going to do these a little differently. Basically, the reason why is the piece of steel I picked. These are just a little thinner, like maybe a 1/4 inch thinner than a standard block because of the material. And what I done is I had to do some creative ways to hold them and stuff to get these 4 out of one piece of steel. And so that's going to be in the video today. So I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, this is my standard setup, you know about it. So sit back, relax, kick your feet up in that reclining chair, prop up, grab your cold beverage, sit back and watch me make a complete tale out of myself. And we'll come back at the end of the video and tell you bye. Have a great day, and let's get this steel started slinging. You know, I've been helping everybody else make tool blocks, and I only have 2 spares myself. So today's project is going to be making tool blocks. I'm going to go ahead and start on making me a set. I'm going to make it out of this, even though it's 1.5 inches thick. It's a little thinner, about 1/4 inch thinner than the standard block. But what I'm going to do is just make the top a little thinner on the clamp side, and it'll be just fine. And so that's going to be the plan here. So we're going to set the saw up here in a minute, and we're going to saw on it and go ahead and get us one cut out. What I'm going to do here is fairly simple. Go ahead and clamp the saw fixture, and then we're just going to let the blade down here and line the blade up on a scribe mark. And we're going to we're allowing ourselves basically, we're going to allow ourselves a little bit of room. And this is that saw fixture I like to use. It's the flat one. So see now, this will make about 3. We'll end up making approximately 3 or 4 holes. Then we just start sawing it just like that. And that's going to take a little bit of saw time, which I'm not going to bore you with, but we're going to saw this right off. This is about half halfway through it, and just to show you how well the saw works and stuff like that. I'm not sure what this copper steel is. They come out scrap bin in metal supermarkets. I bought a couple of them, and I think when we was down there, Tom suggested, hey, this would make good tool block. I've got a lot mounted up, but I really only have two that's completely open right now. So this would give me about 3 more. That'd be plenty for me right now. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and I've been helping other people here lately make some. So, but you see how it's sawing. Harold, I'm using the bandsaw. Right there be the rough block that I'm going to use sawed, and I got a piece left over and I got a plan for it. Okay, right here, this is our material for the tool holders. Now, I said this is going to be a little thin, but I can get more out of it. So this is the block that I've sawed and got it in rough shape for that. So it's ready to go. So we'll just move right along. We're going to run tool mist today, and we're going to take a little 20,000 cut when we start from. And we're going to probably just go back. I'm using a fly close, which is what I prefer to do this. So basically this is the solid section. We're just going to start right here at 24%. So that's the very first cut. Okay, let's get side 2 now. I'm going to do this a little different. The reason why I want to get the maximum amount out of a piece of material. So I'm going to not do that. I'm going to try a little different idea on this with the dovetail and stuff. In most cases, when you want to do one of these, you would do it in this direction, cut your dovetails. But that would only give me 2. This is a little bit thinner, which I already knew it, than a standard block. I'm just going to compensate with having this a little thinner. The main reason is I get more material out of it. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, I'm going to saw this, and I'm going to allow just a smidgen, about a 1/16 of an inch, which is probably too much, but, or an 1/8, and then we're just going to true them up. They're a little thicker, that's fine, but I'm going to try to basically make me a scribe mark from a saw. And this way, you see, I'm going to get 4 tool blocks. That's the reason I'm doing this way. Hopefully, by squaring this up, I can dovetail more than one at a time. What's going to be my actual hope when I get to that point. So we'll just have to see when we get there. It's more trouble, but I get more tool holders and out of the block. That's the idea. Alright, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to true up these blocks. I know there's a big difference in them, so this is the start. And I've only got 3 of them because I've really got a really good one. So we're going to try to take the fly cutter and just take lines up. We're going to give them the max so we can put them over and do it. So we'll just see how this works. Now, I got that piece of aluminum over there. I don't have too much chips to sweep off the floor. I just got to be patient with this process. I was going to try the various ugly head on the sawing of these up. This one right here in the end is way different from the other. What my plan is I'm going to screw it up. I didn't notice a minute ago I only had 3 in there because this block is so short. And what I'm going to do is basically screw this up where it cleans up and then put the dovetail from there and do the dovetail work. Once I cut the dovetails, I'll I go to finish them, I can always finish this other one a little shorter. So it's just, this is the way I can salvage the problem. So we'll just see how it all cleans up. Okay, let's take that first cut and see what happens. Put a little more speed in it. Usually I set these up, start them down the center, go about 100,000. Let the good times roll. We usually go about 100,000 right down through the center to begin with. The reason I go down through the center is just to make sure everything's right, check the cutter, check the width, then get my offsets. And you're going to hear a little bit of noise right there where it transitions from one block to the next. Like I said in the earlier part of this video, the ideal situation would have been to leave the block with a solid piece. The problem was with the material I had, like I explained earlier. This will work just fine. It's doing a good job. You're just going to hear that a lot. So I'm going to finish milling this out, start checking it. All right, there we are in the lathe, and you see it locks up good. See it just slides right there, slide down, locks like it's supposed to. So they're not that hard to make. It's just time consuming. All right, what I'm doing is to get them 5/8 is close. So what I've done is I zeroed the mill up, put the 5/8 slot in as you see in the other one. This one here, I got these two pretty close. That one I done was going to be a little thinner, kind of solid a little different. So what I've done is I mill them 5/8 down the center, then I just offset the mill at the end and take a little 10,000 cleanup pass down each side. And this is the very last pass of these blocks. I got one more to do out of the 4 I'm making, and so we're coming right along. Okay, we done got it figured out now. What we're going to do is go 406, 406, skip to 406, 407. And then we're going, and I'm just going to try this. Most of the time I can get by with this without using some drill. Just bump it a couple times and drill it. Just like that right there. So we're going to drill these, chamfer them. That's a little different. Every time I look at theirs, I don't know what kind of pattern they use. I've never been able to figure it out when I look at one of their blocks. So I'm just trying to come up with a pattern that looks good to me on mine. So my theory is to do this. And so that's what we're going to do. Let's set the chamfering tool in there. There we go. Let me cut you off and get an oil cup over here, and then we'll tap it. Okay, here we go. So we get these done, and just got my little mensch bottle over here off to the side. And as usual, there. And no, I've got a good tap there. Okay. Now I use 1/4-20 in all of my blocks. I mean, just because I've got 1/4-20, I don't put mine metric when I build them. I obviously got standard screws. All right. I'm going to drive over to the next one and do all it, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to deal with the other 2 problems. Okay. Now, what we did is when we calculated the widths, we used the idea of putting basically 6 holes in here. So what the trick here is we're going to do, we're going to go to the next position. You're going to hear the DRO start clicking. And we're going to 0 it, which is always fun with my DRO. All right, that's 0. Then we're just gonna go ahead and hit 6 again. Do the next one. Okay, then we're going to just go right to the third one over, which will be this one. One thing about my DRO, it's so sensitive. Sometimes I have to stand here and play at the table lock to get that last little bit. So now I can drill this hole and that hole and have the skip in it. Now that's one way to do it. I mean, you can do it several ways, but to me that makes more sense for the way I like to work. So let me drill these 2 holes out. Okay, now this is the very last hole after I've done that setup, and you'll see as I start to drill the hole, it come out just right. The whole idea is you need to figure it out. I've done the calculations on the bench, and I was thinking that, but when I got it up on the mill and looked at the first hole, which was about 50 thousandths further, and with one skip, that's the first hole was just too far over. And I'm doing this, I do these, and I admit, a little bit by eyeball. But you know, what I calculated this up to do is to drill basically, instead of for 6 holes, which would be 7 when you figure it. All right, let me finish this up and we'll get these other blocks done. Okay, let's try this again. What I've done is I've set this up basically centered apart, 1/4 inch off the so I drilled it, so we're 1/4 inch to the center line here, center of the part. That's plenty enough for the studs to work right. So you know, everybody knows I use 1/4-20 studding. I just take piece threaded rod. So what we're going to do here is more or less same process. I just got, since I've got this one in, I just set everything up and locked it. I'll do the other ones too. Same drill. We'll go through and drill, tap, and thread it, and then we're going to put. Then we'll put it. That way we can put our adjustments in. Okay, there's the completed blocks that I finished. Orpha, I used the gun blue, the Brambles on them. There's only 2 adjusters, and that's all I had in stock. I got to make a couple of more, but I'll probably make a half a dozen or so when I make them. It'll probably be soon, maybe next day or 2. But I'm going to go over a couple of things. Oh, by the way, these are 1/4-20 8x1s. This is one with the studs, so you can see the screw alignments and how they look. Now, I use 1/4-20 for my studs, and what got me started is when I was doing the tools required to have a smaller stud in them. And with 20 threads per inch is plenty to adjust. This 1/4, and I've said this a couple of times in case you're new to the channel, all this does is support this till you lock it in with the, till you lock your, either your piston pushes here or your wedges expand. That's all that does. This doesn't carry any weight. Added bonus, and I will say this, I've had this to happen to me, added bonus to having this smaller shaft right here is if you have an accident, like you jam something and it pulls down, this will give. The smaller 1/4 will give. But normal machining on these lathes, that 1/4 is not going to give for you. So these other ones have got my adjusters on them. I've probably in other videos you've seen them made. Very simple. It's just a piece of aluminum round stock, knurled, 1 inch stock knurled, cut to about a 1/4 inch wide, and then I just use a regular hardware store nut. I buy 100 of them at a time, and regular lock washer. When I set my height, I'll set it, lock it, and then I just take the wrench and tighten it up. So that's how I do it. So now I've got me 4 more blocks, and I've got 6 spares in case I need them. I think that'll be enough with what I've got set up. So we'll call this project done. I mean, I will say this, and I actually got an email or a text message from Tom up in Virginia. He says, Seco or so, Seco, one of the vendors, they got these on sale for something like $15 a piece. So okay, here we go. 15, 30, 45, 50. Now that's not counting shipping. So let's just say, so if they charge us $15 shipping, that's $65. And I had to steal and enjoy doing it. Now, if you're in the business of a machine shop, the time I took to make these up wouldn't be worth it. Home shop guy, especially if you get the steel right, piece of scrap or something at scrap price, it's well worth it for you. So I hope you learn something. All right, folks, this is Jim, and I really hope you enjoyed me making a monkey's tail out of myself. I always find a good way to do it on video. I'm sort of a simple country boy, so sometimes I can. It's real easy me make a butt out of myself. With no further being said, this is always, it's like I say, a copyrighted production. James Dedman, Sawlogs Plastic Hubs. How about subscribing if you haven't? If you open this video for the first time, and in some of the ways that you open them, and if you see that the subscribe is not red, please do that. Subscriptions are completely free to my channel. There's no obligations, there's no emails, there's no robocalls, there's nobody going to knock on your front door and pass out literature. None of that kind of things happen by being a subscriber to my channel. It's very painless, and I would really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1K. We're getting closer every day, and the 1K is just a mark. And I will go ahead and say this on the 1K part. Don't expect to see my channel going monetized after the 1K or even applying for it. Right now, I think it'd be more hassle than it would be worth to you, the viewer. And definitely not enough funds to make my shop any better. Also, please consider making comments. Comments are always welcome. It's the best way to interact with me. I always try to respond to every comment, good, bad, and ugly. Sometimes I've been known to throw a little troll food out there. So how about thinking about that if you want to have something to say? And one more thing, if you got your own shop, if you do learn something, because that's what this is all about, sharing. It isn't about me making a big profit. It isn't about me getting wealthy. It isn't about me becoming one of the top 10 YouTube machining creators. It's about me sharing what little bit I know with you. This old guy told me one time that if I tried hard enough, I'd make a dimple on a good machinist's butt. Well, that dimple ain't got to rising quite enough yet, so I am still learning myself. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Come back and see us again, and until that next video, you just have a really, really great day. Thank you so much.